I'm Francesca. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to make vegan dumplings. If you follow me on Instagram, then you know that I always post Buddha bowls with dumplings in them, and you guys are always asking me if I have a recipe, and usually I buy my dumplings from Trader Joe's, but now I have a recipe for you guys. Before we get into the video, I just want to make a few disclaimers. Number one, I am not a dumpling master. These are not the most beautiful dumplings in the world, so just keep that in mind. There are plenty of resources online to show you guys how to fold dumplings and make them look beautiful. I'll link some videos down below that I used as help, but these came out absolutely delicious. They were so good. My mom loved them, my grandma loved them, everybody ate them up, and they're actually all gone already. And I made about like 30 of them, so I thought I was gonna have some leftovers, but they all disappeared. I also just want to let you guys know that you can freeze them. You can make the dumplings and then freeze them and then steam them when you want to eat them again. I tried that this morning and they worked great, so that's also good because you can just make a lot of them and then freeze them. This is time intensive. Do not make this if you only have an hour to cook something. Make a bunch, like spend one Saturday or Sunday just making a bunch with your kids, grab a friend, whoever, because you're definitely gonna need some help. It took me about 4 hours to do all these dumplings, so yeah, just a heads up. But they're so worth it. They were so fresh and so good. You have to try them. All right, let me shut up and let's get into the recipe. To start this off, we are gonna make our dough. So you're gonna add in all-purpose flour, salt, and boiling water into a big bowl. Then, using chopsticks, because the water is obviously hot, it was boiling, we're gonna mix this up until we form a shaggy dough. And once you really can't mix it anymore with the chopsticks, flour your surface a little bit, dump the dough out, and you're gonna begin to knead it. This is the fun part. It's gonna take about 10 minutes to knead this dough and a lot of elbow grease. So just begin to knead, use your hands, use your arms, push it, punch it, pull it, whatever you need to do, until you kind of get this nice smooth dough, but it is a little bit hard to work with. It's a little bit of an arm workout. So once you can get it into this nice smooth looking ball, we're gonna cut it in half and we are going to make little bagels out of this. So I'm gonna link the video I found down below where they showed this method, since it's not mine and I'm not taking credit for it. So all I did was take a chopstick, put it in the middle, and basically formed a bagel. And you just wanna do this because it's gonna help to make even dough balls later on. You'll see when we get there. So just make your little bagels. Once they're all done, they look something like this. And then you're just gonna cover them and let them rest for 20 minutes. They're very tired from all the kneading. So then we're gonna make our things for our filling. So I'm taking some extra firm tofu and cutting that up into the tiniest little cutest cubes ever. I wanted to make everything really small. Oh my goodness, look how cute they are. They're so little. But yes, I wanted to make everything really small because it has to obviously go inside our dumplings. So just chop it all up super small. I'm gonna do green onion. You can really do any vegetables you want in there. I think this was a pretty good blend though. This is some cabbage. I got this shredded cabbage mix from Trader Joe's. And like I said, I'm just chopping everything up. I also added in some kale, but you could add anything you like. You could add mushrooms, peppers, whatever. There's 1,000,001 vegetables in the world's your oyster, so have fun. Then we are going to add in all of our ingredients into a pan that I put a little bit of sesame oil in, and we're just gonna mix everything all around and let the kale wilt and the cabbage, because you don't wanna bite into this and have raw vegetables. I added some soy sauce and ground ginger onto this as well to give it a little bit of flavor. And you're just gonna cook it for about 5 to 10 minutes on a medium heat. Like I said, until everything is nice and wilted and just softened. You can use fresh ginger for this as well. I just couldn't find any, so the ground ginger works great for this too. All right, back to our bagels. So we're gonna cut the little bagel in half and make 2 logs. We're gonna line the logs up, and then we're gonna just keep cutting and lining them up to ensure that we get an even cube for each dumpling. You want everything to be about the same size because you're gonna cook them all together later on. So you can just watch me cut them up. Now with our little dough balls, you wanna cover them while you're working on them so they don't dry out. So now I'm gonna take my rolling pin and I'm rolling these out super thin. You wanna roll them out very thin. If they're too thick, it's gonna be too gooey and doughy when you bite into them. So then I'm taking about half a tablespoon of the filling, and we're gonna fold the circle in half,
pinch the sides together, and then we're gonna fold the one side in and kind of make a pleat. You know how dumplings have that traditional pleated look. Now this is something that comes with practicing, and you get better as you go, but I think mine came out decent. I think the next time I make them, I'll be a little bit better prepared, but you know, just watch a few videos, practice on a few, you're fine, don't worry. And this is pretty much it. So now you just got to make all your dumplings, and you have to leave them covered while you're making them too, so they don't dry out. And another thing that I just want to say, if you want to have a perfect circle, you can use a mason jar lid after to kind of just like cut one out. So yeah, but they look something like this, and I think they look pretty good. So now it's time to cook these babies. So I'm putting some sesame oil into a pan again, letting that heat up, and then we're going to put in all of our dumplings in. We want to brown one of the sides, you know, the little bottom, so they get nice and crispy. So just put them all in there. They look something like this in here. They're going to hang out until their little butts get browned up. And then you can add in some water and let this steam. So this way everything gets nice and cooked. And just cover it with a lid for about 5 to 10 minutes or until all the water is gone. It's going to look something like this. You'll see that they start to get that kind of shiny, see-through quality to them, like how dumplings have. And this is why you want to make sure that you roll the wrapper out really thin. So now we're going to make a dipping sauce while these are cooking. So very simple. I'm adding soy sauce, water, maple syrup, garlic powder, and some red pepper flakes. I would have added rice vinegar too, but I didn't have any. And that's it. Our dumplings are cooked, so I'm just topping them with some green onions and sesame seeds, and now you can enjoy. I'll have more directions on my blog down below how you can freeze these, reheat them, save them, because they are a lot of work, but you can make a lot of them at a time. And yeah, now you can just enjoy them in our delicious dipping sauce.
All right guys, and that was our recipe. What did you guys think? Are you gonna attempt to make these dumplings? If you make them, please tag me on Instagram or send me a DM. I really love to hear back from you guys. I love your feedback. I love seeing your pictures. It makes me really happy. So if you make them, please let me know. As always, the full recipe will be down below in the description box, so you can get all the measurements there and a written out recipe. And yeah, make sure to subscribe if you're not subscribed. And if you do subscribe, hit that little bell so you get notified every time I post a video. I make new videos on Wednesdays and Sundays. And leave a comment, leave a like if you enjoyed it. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.